Yes, people. Another episode of You Love Football Chat. This episode, we are going to interview the one they call Joel, one of the guys in the group. Very, very funny. This guy is hilarious, mate. Some of his posts, mate, I tell you, I read it and I'm in absolute stitches. I literally got fucking tears in my eyes. So yeah, let's give him a call now and let's start this chat. He should pick up.
Hello.
Joel,
Hey,
how you doing, bruv?
I'm good.
I thought I definitely got to get Joel on the call, mate, because you're like literally one of the funniest guys in the group, mate. I just saying earlier that when you're on the call, when you're on the post and stuff you say, I'm literally in tears, bruv. I swear down, I'm literally crying, bruv. So thank you for taking the time out to have this little chat with me. So let's start off. Do Spurs have a chance of winning any silverware this season?
Yeah, to be honest, I think we've got a good chance in the League Cup because I think, what is it, quarterfinals now we're at?
Yeah.
And it's probably the easiest trophy to win, let's be honest. And Mourinho, he seems like a different guy this season to what he was like last season.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened with him, but and obviously he's got that track record of winning things. So yeah, I think we've got a good chance definitely of the League Cup, and I think it's often, if you look at teams that have been successful, that's where they've started. You know,
Yeah.
so like get that first trophy under your belt. So
No, it's true. And I think looking at Mourinho, when he was at United, he was happy for a bit and then he just started to turn angry. And I think coming to Spurs now, he knows that he's got a chance to create history. Do you know what I mean? And you've got,
exactly.
let's face it, you've got a group of players that can actually win something. And, you know, looking at your team, it's hard for me to say, but I can actually see you lot winning silverware this season. I can see it. I can't see you not winning something. And
The
especially,
thing is, you see it with Liverpool. Like, sooner or later, a team is going to win something. Aren't
Yeah.
they? If you look at how Tottenham have been one of the top 5 or 6 teams in the country for the last 10 years consistently now.
Yeah.
You'd have expected them to, even if it was just fucking luck, you'd have expected us to win a fucking trophy during that time.
Yeah.
So sooner or later, we are going to win one.
yeah, I think so.
And the longer it goes on, I'm not a mathematician, but the longer it goes on, the more the probability of you winning one increases, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was inevitable Liverpool would win a league again eventually. They're too big a club not to, do you know what I mean? So
That's
I
right.
think the same principle applies. And I kind of feel like this season, it's weird because after that first Everton game, we looked almost like we have for the last couple of years, really, like nothing had changed. And I don't know whether Daniel Levy went, fuck this, man, I need to actually put my hand in my pocket. But obviously we went out and made all those signings, and we've looked at different teams since. Like I think trying to be neutral, it's hard to be neutral, but I think we're playing the best football in the league at the moment. Our defence has looked shit until the last couple of games.
Yeah.
But everyone's defence has looked shit.
Yeah, it's true. No one's defence actually looks outstanding, and no team actually looks like they're going to run away with the league. So I think, you know, and that comes on to my next question. Do you think Spurs will win the Premiership this season? And that's not me trying to take the piss. It's me asking you a serious question, bro.
Do you know what? I wouldn't put money on it. Like I do bet. I like a bet. So
Yeah.
I'll give you a bit of background. Before the season started, I took a bet at 16-1 on 365, which was Tottenham to finish. They do like who's going to win the league without City and Liverpool.
Yeah.
So basically, who's going to come third? And Tottenham was 16-1, and I took that. At
Okay.
the start of the season. We're now the favourites for that bet at 2-1. We're ahead of Chelsea, who are just below us.
Okay.
And the bookies don't often get it wrong. That's
Yeah.
why they're bookies, and they're good at what they do. They do get it wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
So I really think we're pretty much, and they've changed their view on us quite quickly. So I really think we're pretty much nailed on for top 4.
Yeah.
I think City look like they've got. I've always felt, I don't want to go off on a total tangent, but I've always felt Pep is overrated. I'm not saying he's shit. He's a good manager, obviously, but that Barca team, me or you would have probably won a couple of titles.
Yeah. It's true.
Bayern Munich again, you know, there weren't a lot up against him, was there?
Yeah.
Man City, people call him a checkbook manager or whatever.
Yeah.
He plays great football, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's quite the manager. He's not like a Fergie or a Wenger or whatever. He's not for me anyway.
Yeah.
He's not kind of achieved those things where he's taken a team from not a great position
to being great.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That. I was thinking the same thing because, as you said, he's jumped into teams. He's had Bayern, tremendous team, tremendous. What he's had to do. The major thing I think he's had to do is just to manage egos,
Yeah,
and but not actually, like you said, take a team from nothing. Like, even let's face it, when Klopp came to Liverpool, he had to buy the right players. He had to buy the right ingredients. Yes, he had a base of players, but he still had to top it off. And I don't think Pep's had to do that. Do you know what I mean?
No, I fucking hate Klopp.
Yeah.
As a person, I really don't like him. I think he's a bit of a fraud. Like, he makes out like he's this nice guy and smiling, but at the end of the day, he's a winner, isn't he?
Yeah.
I just don't like the fact that I kind of feel he's fake. I felt with like Fergie and Wenger, and Mourinho, they are what they say on the tin. I feel like Klopp's got this media persona, but I don't think it's the real him. Do you know what I mean? So I've never liked the guy, but I will respect him.
Yeah.
And I'd say his achievements at Liverpool massively dwarf what fucking Pep's done at City.
Definitely.
I mean, apart from the fact that he's won the Champions League, which Pep ain't done,
yeah,
he's taken that team from a place to the next level and then the next level again.
Yeah.
And so, but back to your question with this season, I think City are in a bit of a mess, if I'm honest. I don't see where Pep goes from here.
Yeah.
I think he might go at the end of the season, because if he wins the Champions League, he's done what he come to do.
Yeah.
If he don't win it, well, how many more fucking years are they going to give him to keep trying? I kind of feel like he's taken City as far as he can, and I know that it's early in the season, you can't write them off. You still got to look at them as one of the two favourites for the title, but they don't look right, and I think all their eggs will be in the Champions League basket.
I think so.
And I don't think they'll win it. I think they'll come up short again, if I'm honest. So I think Tottenham have got a good chance of coming above them, and I think Liverpool, I said it on a post in the group a while back, teams tend not to retain the title anymore.
Yeah.
And obviously Liverpool had a good run with not having any really long-term injuries to key players. They now had the Van Dijk thing.
Yeah.
Fabinho's out now. It's they're on a little run of having had a run of good luck. They're now having a run of bad luck. Mm-hmm. And they're going to miss Van Dijk, not just for the player he is, but I think psychologically.
I think so.
Probably the main man at the club there, isn't he?
Definitely. And I think, a lot of people in the group were talking about, Liverpool are going to be, half the team that they were without Van Dijk. I think, so as you said, psychologically, yes, they may be, but I think their main person, if they got injured, would be Mane, and I think that's when you see a major difference in the actual Liverpool team, because I think Mane is their key player for me.
I agree with you. To me, he's the best player in the club, and he's one of them guys. Maybe it's because he's not that big personality. Maybe it's because he's from Senegal rather than Brazil. I don't know, but he definitely goes under the radar. It's the same with Sonny at Tottenham. Yeah. And I do think some of it is nationality. Players who are Dutch, Brazilian, French, Italian, whatever, the countries that have got the big global reputation, it's maybe easier for them to become these big household names. And they get all the sponsorship deals. The thing with Sonny and Mane is they're both quite humble guys. They kind of keep themselves... no one can tell you what their wives look like, or if they're even married or whatever. Do you know what I mean? They got low profiles away from the pitch.
True.
And to me, they're two of the top 5 players in the league.
Definitely.
They both get kind of underrated in some ways.
Son and Kane, what do you think? Do you think they're the best pairing in the Premiership so far at the moment? What do you think?
What this season?
Yeah.
Yeah, this season by far they're untouchable. I think people have analysed why is it, because obviously they've played together for a while and they've never looked this good together.
Yeah.
And everyone's saying about Jose and Kane dropping deeper and this, that and the other. And I think if you look at the West Ham game, a good example, Kane's second half, he got to me a little bit, because it was like he played a bit more like the old Harry Kane. He was a bit more greedy. Yeah. And I think because it was like, we took our foot off the gas a little bit, and he was shooting, whereas in the past, or trying to beat a man, whereas in the first half he might have passed and got his head up. And I think that did affect us. Now, he was a bit unlucky, he hit the post, and if that had gone in, that would have been 4-0 and we would have probably beaten them 5 or 6-0. But he definitely played a bit different that second half, and I think the team suffered from it. But I think some of it, if I'm honest, is Gareth Bale. I think it's made him coming to the club, it's worked in 2 ways. One, it's given people a lift, but also for those people in those attacking positions, it's got them on their toes a little bit more now, because we're in this weird position where all the fans was excited about him coming back, and this big thing about us getting Bale and that.
Yeah.
And now he wouldn't, okay, I don't think he's fully fit, but I'm not sure he'd get straight in the team at the minute anyway, even if he was fully fit, because the team's playing well. That partnership, sometimes it's kind of like what I was saying before about Liverpool and the sum of all the parts. You could put him in the team, and actually the team looks worse for it because it affects the balance. Like Moura, Lamella, they ain't as good obviously, but they do a bit more like work for the team. Do you know what I mean? They run around a lot. They put pressure on the ball. They make defenders make mistakes and things like that. Whereas Bale's going to be probably not as good in a defensive way. So you could put him in the team and suddenly it affects the balance. Do you know what I mean? If he'd started against Burnley, we might not have won that game. We might have lost it 1-0.
Yeah.
So he ain't even guaranteed his place in the team. So I think that in terms of this season, they're definitely. They look the main guys. I think people are comparing them now to Lampard and Drogba. A lot of people. I'll be the first to come and give it in the group and say they're the best ever if they fucking do break their record or whatever. But there's more to it than that, isn't it? Because a team, just because people don't always get the direct assist and whatnot, you can't just base it on the stats. Like the stats I see about Drogba and Lampard, they weren't actually a partnership, were they? They just played together in a team, but they weren't like a strike partnership.
True.
And the list I see didn't have people like Cole and York on it.
Yeah, and I was just going to mention that as well. Yeah.
So, because those stats are just looking, I think, at direct involvements where you assisted each other and nothing else. Not how many goals you scored together while you was playing together. So if you take York and Cole, York might have pinged it out to Giggs, who puts the cross in for Cole to score or whatever. Do you see what I mean? So they're still involved in the link-up play, or they might have played a 1-2, then squared it to Beckham, who crosses it, and then fucking someone else scores it or whatever. So you can't just pin it all on the stats, can you? There's been lots of good partnerships. I'm trying to think who it was with Alan Shearer at Newcastle. They must have. He probably played with a few different people there. Because he was there for a while. But there's been the other one, Sheringham.
That's it. That's what I was going to say. Did he?
Sheringham at a few clubs has had good partnerships with people. Like Berbatov and Rooney. There's been loads of good partnerships. You know what I mean? And I think you can't pin it too much on the stats. Plus, if you look at, say, Liverpool or even us, most teams play three across the front now anyway. So it's not just a partnership, is it? It's about that front three and how they work together. So I think at the minute, obviously they're on fire, but it's a difficult one to fully qualify and explain it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. A few more questions. I've got another two more questions. Do you think Kane will leave if you lot don't win nothing this season? Do you think his heart is with Tottenham, and regardless of you lot not winning, he'll stay? Or do you think he's giving you lot this season, if you don't win it, then leave? What do you think?
This is a weird one. I chatted to my boys about it a while back. So if I go back to the season we lost in the Champions League final, before that like as it was looking like we might get to the final, where I think we were around about March or whatever, we was in the quarters. Yeah. And I was talking to my mates, and I said, the thing is, I think if we were talking about the same thing with Poch as well. I said, if we win the Champions League, I think they'll both leave. Because it's like go out on a high. They're not going to ever better that, are they? Even if we win the league, that's still probably not as big an achievement. Like they'll have achieved everything they could really at Tottenham. Yeah. And I thought, in a sense, if we don't win it, then they're more likely to stay because they'll want to win something before they leave. So I think the same logic sort of applies. Like in a sense, you could say if we won the league, he's more likely to go than if we didn't win the league. True. But what I think this now comes down to is a bit. I think things have changed from a couple of seasons ago. Because if you look at the state of world football, and if you look at Daniel Levy and Tottenham's status as a club, Daniel Levy is impossible to do business with. Everyone knows that. So, really and truly, who has got the money? Say you're looking at probably, even if I'm generous, 150 million for Kane, but realistically, Levy's going to want 200 million for him. So who can afford 200 million? Bayern Munich might be able to afford it, but they've never paid anything close to that for anyone. Plus, I don't think he's going to go Germany. PSG could afford it, but yes, he loves fucking personal records and getting goals, but I don't think he's going to go and play in fucking the French league, if I'm honest. United could afford it, but why is he going to go United? I think in purely footballing terms, we're in a better place than them as a club at the minute. Yes, obviously they're a bigger club than us, but it's kind of a sideways step. Do you know what I mean? Why would he really go there? He's on 200 grand a week or whatever at Spurs. So yeah, they'll pay him a bit more, but money ain't an issue, I don't think. City could afford it, and they do need to replace Aguero, but I can't really see him going there, if I'm honest. And that only then leaves, really. I mean, AC Milan are doing.
What about Arsenal? You don't think he'll come to Arsenal?
No. You can't afford him.
Oh, okay.
You can't afford your fucking mascot. But I think, and in all seriousness, I was chatting to you about this the other day, but I think two of your best young players are Martinelli and Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah, I do like them.
I rate them both, and I'd like, on a neutral footballing sense, I'd like to see them given a run at Arsenal. I mean, I wouldn't, because I think they'll do well, but you know what I mean? I think they deserve that chance. But yeah, so I think really and truly, Juve could possibly afford him, and they're going to be looking to replace Ronaldo at some point.
Yeah.
But it only leaves Barca and Real Madrid. Barca are fucked for money, and Real Madrid, they will need a replacement for Benzema. So really and truly, the only place I can see him going is Madrid. So I think it all hinges on whether they want him and whether they go in for him. Now, my mate says he's too fit to go overseas. He says he can't even fucking speak English, so how's he going to cope out of Spain? And he has got a point. But I can honestly see him, even if he wants to leave, I can see him not really finding a club that wants him or is willing to pay the money. Do you know what I mean? So he might be one of them rare players who spends his whole career at Spurs. Okay.
Right, I'm going to finish up. We all go to the cave now and again. We all, yeah, sometimes.
I ain't been there for a long time.
Yeah, I know. Arsenal fans are in at the moment. Do you have any tips? Because what I like to do, I like to finish up the chat with tips for anybody going to the cave. Do you have any tips if your cave is full and you need to put up a tent? Is there any tips you've got for any tent build, anything like that at all?
To be honest, like when it comes to tents, my brother got my little boy a little pop-up tent thing for the summer for the garden.
Yeah.
And there's it's meant to be easy to assemble, but fuck me, that thing was like fucking, I don't know, man. It was like fucking quantum physics or something. Pick the thing up and throw it in the fucking garage in the end. I couldn't even fold it up. Like tents, I don't know about that. I'd say my first tip is don't fucking go in the cave.
Yeah.
So you got to support a team that's going to try and keep you out of there.
Yeah.
I think that the second tip for what I would say though is that especially as you're coming into the winter months, you've got to make sure you got a supply of blankets, warm clothing, and then I've heard a few stories about what goes on in there. People like my old mate Easy, like he will steal your weed and your lighters, man.
Fucking hell, mate, that's bang out of order.
Put your things in your sock. Sleep with one eye open. You can't really trust no one, man. Like fucking Randall will be all over your special brew and your fucking your Ray and nephew, whatever else home comforts you brought in there with you. So you can't really trust no fucker in there. But I think it's the main thing for me with the cave is that you got to just avoid it at all costs. I mean, I'll be honest. I just duck out of the fucking group if things get that bad. I'll just lie and say I'm going through some personal. You want to see me for 6 months, man? I can't be dealing with fucking people. Me and you spoke before about people taking things to heart, and I do. Yeah. I'll be the first to admit sometimes if Tottenham are pissing me off sometimes.
Yeah.
I ain't in the mood for fucking people like winding me up. So you just got to fucking distance yourself from it. So I'll just fuck off out of the group for 6 months, man, and tell people I've got fucking shit to do.
Alright, listen, Joe, I'm going to wrap up here. Listen, thanks a lot for taking the time out to have a little chat with me, bruv. I'll put this in the group. Hopefully it'll go on Friday, if not definitely Saturday. But yeah, thanks a lot for this, mate. And I'll see you in the group doing what you do, bruv. Yeah?
Yeah, no worries.
Alright then, mate. Take care. See you later. Bye. Yes, people, that was Joel Warner, Tottenham fan. Great guy. Absolutely, he's so funny, this dude. If you're interested in doing the next interview, let me know. Give me an inbox and I'll give you a call and you can talk to me about your team. This is Tony Lee signing out for You Love Football Chat. Take care. Have a nice afternoon. If it's in an afternoon, you're in this. If it's in the morning, I hope you had a great morning. I hope you had your breakfast and stuff. If it's in the evening, I hope you've had a nice evening dinner. You're sitting down and you're relaxing, yeah? Peace out. Take care. Later on.